I knew my brother's wife was cheating, so I followed her and filmed the whole thing. Alright guys, I've got quite the story for you. This happened a while ago, and now that everything's settled down, I thought it'd be a great time to share it with all of you. I have an older brother, let's call him John. John and I have always been pretty close, but our lives took different paths. I got a steady job, while he started his own business and became super successful. He's one of the hardest working people I know, and he has a lot to show for it. A gorgeous house, a couple of nice cars, you get the idea. Anyway, John got married to this woman, let's call her Sarah. Sarah seemed great at first, but as time went on, her true colors started to show. She became a total spoiled princess, treating John like absolute garbage. She'd talk down to him, never be intimate with him, and just generally make his life miserable. It was infuriating to watch. John, however, refused to believe that Sarah was cheating on him. He's always been the kind of guy to see the best in people, even when it's painfully obvious they're not worth it. He was miserable, but he was too codependent to do anything about it. He was paralyzed, and it broke my heart to see him like that. I think it had to do with the fact that our parents divorced while we were young and Mom essentially left us. I mean, we saw her from time to time, but she felt more like an occasional babysitter more than a mom. Anyway, I couldn't stand by and watch my brother suffer like that. I knew I had to do something. So, I decided to play detective and gather some evidence that would finally convince John that his wife was cheating on him. I'd seen Sarah around town with some guy, and I was pretty sure they were having an affair. I just needed proof. I started by following her around for a few days. I wasn't too keen on the idea of being a stalker, but I knew I had to do this for my brother's sake. I'd follow her to the gym, the grocery store, the spa, wherever. It was tedious and very difficult to stay hidden, but I was determined to catch her in the act. One day, I hit the jackpot. I saw her get into her car and drive to a hotel on the other side of town. I followed at a distance and parked nearby. My heart was pounding as I watched her car from across the lot. A few minutes later, she got out of the car with the guy I'd seen her with before. They were laughing and touching each other, and it was clear they were more than just friends. I had to be quick, so I grabbed my phone and started filming them. I got some pretty clear footage of them walking into the hotel, holding hands, and even kissing. It was disgusting, but it was exactly what I needed. I knew this would be the proof John needed to finally leave her. I couldn't wait to show John the video. When I did, his face went pale, and he looked like he was about to be sick. He finally realized the truth. His wife was cheating on him. The video broke his heart, but it was the push he needed to finally take control of his life. He was almost upset with me at first, but then pulled me in and gave me a huge hug and thanked me for having his back. I asked him if he wanted me nearby when he confronted her, and he actually said that it would be great to have me there, just in case something got out of hand. So later that day, John confronted Sarah with the video in their kitchen, and she completely lost it. She tried to deny it, but the evidence was right there in front of her. She asked how he got that footage and even suggested that it was fake. I told him that he could tell her it was me, and he did. I am so glad he did. So of course, she tried to blame me for everything, saying I was trying to ruin their marriage. But John wasn't having any of it. I just sat there and smirked as she was screaming and acting like an idiot. For the first time in years, John stood up for himself. He told her he was done with her and that he wanted a divorce. She started screaming more and threatening to take everything he had. But John just laughed and reminded her of the prenup she'd signed before they got married. She'd walk away with nothing. Sarah was furious, but there was nothing she could do. John was a smart businessman, so the prenup was ironclad, and she knew it. Defeated, she stormed out of the house, leaving John to finally breathe a sigh of relief. It was the first time in years I'd seen him genuinely happy. As for me, Sarah tried to confront me one last time, blaming me for everything and telling me I'd ruined her life. I wasn't about to let her have the last word, though. I looked her straight in the eye and told her that she'd done this to herself. She was the one who cheated, lied, and treated my brother like garbage. She made her choice to cheat, and I made my choice to expose her. Over the next few months, John and I grew even closer. He started going to therapy and working on himself, and he finally realized that he deserved better. He deserved someone who actually loved him and treated him with respect. With my help, he was able to put himself out there again and start dating. One day, John met a woman named Katie. She was kind, caring, and genuinely interested in his well-being. They hit it off, and before long, they were inseparable. John's life was finally turning around, and it was incredible to see him so happy. Eventually, John and Katie got married. It was a small, intimate ceremony with just a few close friends and family members. John asked me to be his best man, and I was honored. As I stood there, watching my brother exchange vows with the love of his life, I couldn't help but feel proud of everything we'd accomplished together. After the wedding, John pulled me aside and thanked me. He told me that he couldn't have done any of this without my help, and that he was eternally grateful. I told him that he didn't need to thank me. I was just doing what any good brother would do. But deep down, I knew that what we'd been through together had forged an unbreakable bond between us. So I guess the moral of the story is this: life's too short to waste on people who don't treat you right. If you find yourself in a toxic relationship, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and make a change. And if you have a sibling or a friend who's going through something similar, don't hesitate to step in and help. You never know what kind of difference you can make in their life. And as for John and Katie, they're still happily married, and they've even started a family of their own. They have a beautiful little girl, and I couldn't be more proud to be her uncle. It's been a long, difficult journey, but in the end, we all came out stronger for it. And that's something I'll always be grateful for. What do you think? Do any of you have a sibling or a friend who has your back like this? Let us know in the comments section below. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more Tangled threads.